So I get that you're brand new in your role, or maybe you've just gotten an engagement report back, or you got some feedback from your team and you're thinking to yourself, we need to make some changes in the culture of our workplace. And you feel some urgency around it. I get it. It's kind of hard in the business world today to be able to accommodate all the external influences and disruption that's happening in the way business happens today. Only we have to remember that culture is something that emerges, just like a good business brand. It emerges out of all the many interactions that we have every day, whether it's on Zoom or in the office or at a conference or at an event. It's the accumulation of the way we behave with each other and the way we enjoy and celebrate and the way we navigate failure and disappointment. We create norms, we create values and principles and ways of being a leader and ways of managing and what we expect the conduct to be of our employees and the way that they interface with customers. All of these things go into culture. Hopefully by this point, you're realizing, wow, that's not a small thing to evolve. That's right. However, there is some hope. If we use the word climate instead of culture, we begin to think about moment to moment, just like the weather, it's changeable. And how does it change? It changes through leadership. Those of you that are parents will remember that it's important to pay attention to how kids learn. They're watching what you do, not what you say. And they're watching the energy behind what you do, as opposed to whether the words are happy or sad. It's the way you engage with them that matters. Same is true for leadership. Teams are always checking the temperature. You know, a really good executive assistant always says, no, don't bring that question today. Let me book you on the calendar for tomorrow. That's going to be better. There'll be more space. That's workplace climate. So that means leaders have a lot of control. They have a tremendous influence and impact on that climate. That means as coaches, we have an opportunity to support leaders to be deliberate in the choices they make about how they're showing up, how they're interacting, and how they're making decisions, ultimately to foster more autonomy with their teams and have their teams feel that sense of belonging, that they are respected for their competency and they're given that autonomy to act on that competency. That's the leader's job for a healthy climate. Now, I just said a whole bunch right there. And if you're a leader, you're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, I don't do that. Well, working with a coach, you begin to recognize where might you be holding on too tight, carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders and not allowing your team to step into more authority. Because when you release that authority to your folks when they're trained and ready and competent, you can scale your business. They're happier because they're respected for their competence. You're happier because more work is getting done and getting done at the quality you expect. And oh, by the way, as a leader, you now get to open your lens wide and start to think more strategically. This is how organizations grow. But it begins with a leader who recognizes, I want a climate that's ripe for collaboration. I want a climate where my team members know I respect their competence and they have authority to act, and we're transparent about how to be successful. This is the work of influencing workplace climate, and it really can be done in 45 days. Another 45 days after that, you begin to have your team developing, and as leaders, you are catching yourself from swooping into rescue in favor of being a coach. But that's another video we'll come back to another time.